having a dog definitely teaches you things about yourself. And he's got Mars. He scared us to death because he was like violently ill.
This is Mars the Maltipoo, and this is his dad, Sonny James, artist relations for one of the most popular software companies in the DJ and music production space, Serato. He's also a producer, DJ, and Philly native, residing in LA. Let's get to know Mars and Sonny on Industry Pets. Sonny, thanks for taking the time to be on Industry Pets. Appreciate you.
Anytime. I appreciate you inviting me.
All right, awesome. We are here today to talk about Mars, your wonderful dog who is turning 3 soon. What made you decide to get Mars?
So he's a little bit of a pandemic pet. So yeah, we got him in 2020. So our friend who got it, who's also Cece's close friend, my daughter. So she got a Maltipoo, and then we bought her brother or his brother. So yeah. So our friend's dog is Galaxy, and our dog is Mars, and our daughter's named him.
Have you always been a pet person?
Well, I mean, I've been a pet person on and off. So I've had cats throughout my life. I usually try to do the shortest hair cats possible. And then I've had dogs once or twice throughout my life, but again, the shedding always ends up getting to me. So that was part of our decision to go the Maltipoo route because, they're hypoallergenic. They're also extremely friendly with kids, and they're lovable, and they don't shed that much. So
has Mars ever helped you with your creativity or inspired anything that you've made or produced?
I wouldn't say that, but I'd say he just inspires me to be a better person. I feel like because my guy Cut Corners, he's also a dog person to the max, and he said that before we even got Mars, that having a dog definitely teaches you things about yourself, and the level of patience that you can have, and not that kids don't, because kids definitely do as well, but there's something unique and special about having dogs that communicate non-verbally. You know what I mean?
If your dog had to be a music artist, which music artist does your dog mostly resemble?
Damn, that's a really tough question, but I'm gonna say probably Prince.
Wow.
He's definitely got a very reserved side, but then he's also got a really flamboyant side as well. When you come home, he definitely comes alive, and he's damn near cartwheeling through the crib when we all get home. And then he's also got a side that's very mysterious, and you wonder what he's thinking.
So how did adding a dog to your family unit change your life? What were some of the challenges adding a dog, especially with a young child?
Well, I think for us, the main challenges is just scheduling, because we're so busy. I'm in and out of town a lot, and I spend a lot of time, if not at the office, I spend a lot of time just working, period. So it can definitely become a little bit of a challenge to kind of schedule walks and, make sure that he's all groomed and healthy and fed and all those good things that you got to make sure that dogs are, taken care of. But yeah, I'd say we've adjusted pretty well, all things considered, considering we really haven't had a dog as a family maybe ever. Yeah, and then it was a great adjustment for my daughter, because she used to be deathly terrified of dogs. Like it could be a dog that's like the size of a gerbil, and she would be ready to cross the street because she was that terrified. Yeah. So one of my friends had recommended, he was like, maybe you should consider getting a small puppy and see how that goes, because maybe she can come out of that fear a little bit gradually. And now, she's got her, her little best buddy, the Maltipoo. So
now, you said that you have to learn a lot of things when you own a dog, and you mentioned that you groom your own dog as well.
I do. So I started taking him to professional groomers, and the main thing for me wasn't even about the money; it was about the time that's spent. I would drop him off, and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, come back in 6 hours," and I'm like, 6 hours? I could be in Vegas in 6 hours. You know what I mean? I got a lot of random things going on in my life, so it makes more sense for me. Oh, well, so the first thing that happened was a friend of my very close friend, Zarina, who's also from Philly. She had a grooming kit that I guess she got because she has dogs of a similar breed, and she had attempted to use it, and I guess the dogs just weren't cooperating. So she was just like, later for this, if you want to try it, then be my guest. And she gave it to me, and I was like, all right, let me see. Mars is pretty mild temper, so maybe he'll chill out for me and let me give him a cut. And the first time I gave him a cut, he just seemed like he was in heaven. He was so relaxed, and I was like, okay, why not? Like, let's do it. So now I just have fun just coming up with different ways to style him, and it's kind of our little our dad doggy bonding time.
Wow, that's awesome. That's really cool that you do it yourself because that's a whole task, especially that breed. And it's almost like cutting hair, right?
Well, it is, and I can cut hair too, but I think the coolest thing about being able to do it myself is that I'm done in like an hour and a half, and we move on with our lives. It's funny though, and the reason I feel like he's got a prince-esque personality is because the minute that haircut is done, he's like, he walks different, he acts different. He just can't wait to go find either my daughter or my wife, and he's just like, look, check me out. If he could talk, you would definitely be like, look at me, ain't I'm clean. You know what I mean?
Do you ever dress him up in clothes?
Yeah, he's got a couple sweaters, nothing too crazy. I mean, I think we got him some boots, or someone gifted us some like little doggy booties, but he's not feeling it. He's like very specific about what he likes and what he'll tolerate, and the boots just aren't happening. So yeah, I mean, he's got a couple nice little jackets. He dresses to impress. And my mom got him a nice little hoodie too that she sent him from Philly, and I don't know how she did it because I can have him with me and still pick out the wrong size if I go to Petco. But she ordered something randomly. She got it custom made, and it came, and it fit him like to a T. It was insane.
The grandparents love grand dogs. It seems to be a universal thing around here. So, does your mom spoil the dog when she gets to visit him?
Well, she visited a few months back, and she definitely spoiled him a lot. She definitely gave him plenty of belly rubs. And if you knew my mom, you would know that that's completely out of character for her. She's not a pet person at all. The most she might do is like an aquarium. She might have like some goldfish, but other than that, she's not like walking any animals, not cleaning up litter. Like, she's not doing any of those tasks. So the fact that she fell in love with Mars instantly says a lot about him.
You're on the go a lot for
Mm-hmm.
your work and your career. What would you suggest someone take into account before getting a dog or adding to a dog to their family?
So the first thing is that a dog is not unlike a person in terms of health conditions, because when we first got Mars, he scared us to death because he was like violently ill, like for the first few weeks of having him. And it was just a nightmare for several weeks. And then I finally found a good vet in Eagle Rock, and he gave him some kind of like I think they call it like a some kind of like scientific diet formula or whatever. And Mars was tearing that up. And then he was like, all right, so I'm going to give you like a case of this, and just give this to him. When that runs out, call me, and then we'll figure out the next step. So we did that. Mars was good. And then he called me like as I was like getting towards the end of that case of food, and he was like, you know what? I just thought about something. Why don't you change his food? And I was like, okay. He's like, yeah, because before he was eating like, I don't know what he was. It was like Purina, like chicken chow or whatever it was. So apparently, Maltipoos are known to have chicken allergies, and I didn't know that because literally every puppy food has a chicken base. Like 99% of puppy food has a chicken base, and yeah, and he's of the breed that can't eat chicken, and I never would have guessed that.
Man, so be prepared to take care of your dogs and have vet visits if need be because they can get sick. As kind of like one of the things that I think people overlook when they get a pet,
Yeah.
because it's like at first I'm gonna get this pet, I'm gonna have fun, I'm gonna walk it, I'm gonna train it, I'm gonna clean up after it. Everyone's got that down, but they don't know is that stress of the vet visit.
So another thing to consider when it comes to dogs in particular is training, because honestly, a lot of us think that we know what we're doing with dogs. We think we understand their behaviors and whatnot, but it really is a whole different world if you've never been a dog owner. So definitely don't underestimate the power of professionals who really speak the dog's language. there have been situations where where we've gone to our dog trainer, and she's like, "Yo, your dog's not listening to you because you haven't done X, Y, and Z," or your dog is behaving this way because of these environmental circumstances. And it's like the smallest things that will really transform your the way you interact with your pet. So I definitely recommend seeing a professional to get that training. I know it can be a little bit pricey, but there's some options out there for sure.
So how long did it take for you to find a good trainer, and then how long was the training process for you to get like pretty right with that?
Well, it's kind of ongoing because we don't go like all the time. Like we don't have, because at one point we were going like once or twice a week, and then we got busy, and then also we kind of feel like we're in a good place with Mars as well, where he mostly listens to us. But I think in the future we'll definitely pick up some more training again, and keep it going, because it's always valuable.
Awesome. And what kind of tricks does he do? Does he do tricks?
Yeah, he does like the basic things, like he can shake hands, he can sit, he can lay. But I want to get to the point where like he doesn't move until he hears like the code word. That's like the next level, like Jedi training that she does.
Thanks for sharing a lot of the
Yeah.
stories of Mars and for coming on the show. We really appreciate that. Tell everybody what you got going on and where they can find you.
Yeah, so I'm just kind of in my production bag lately. I've been making a lot of beats in Serato Studio, of course, and also doing a bunch of just amazing video content with my team. Big shout out to Destruct and MCD and Undercut and Shadowrunner and everyone that we've been when flying around shooting amazing content with. It's been a lot of fun, man. We just dropped Rhythm Roulette with DJ Khalil and Mass Appeal. It's a Mass Appeal Serato partnership, and it's really dope. So when you get a chance, check that out on Mass Appeal's YouTube. It's also I don't know if it's on Khalil's YouTube, but it's definitely on Mass Appeal. And then and yeah, and we just shot a bunch of content with Cook and Soul. You got to check that out. We're promoting Serato Studio with Stems lately, and yeah, it's been a whirlwind of campaigns and content for 2023. So that stuff, as well as my personal projects, my production. I just dropped a record called The Baddest with my bro Fat Nice. Dropped another record with Grand Agent. Got more records coming for the rest of the year. So keep on the lookout. MrSonnyJames.com should have all my updates.
Excellent. Sonny James, thanks so much for taking the time. Appreciate you.
Anytime, bro. Appreciate you.